Okay, so today we're going to be working on the fabricated 9-inch housing for the Roadster. When I drop the third member in here, I've got some conflicts right here. The little bracket that holds the side bearing adjuster hits right here pretty hard, and the same over here. This was designed to accept a strange aluminum center section, and this was, like I said earlier in one of my other videos, this was the very first one that Team Z ever produced, and they probably had to come in and create some clearances so people could use other third members and whatnot. But this was the first one. It was not updated with anything that it's a prototype. So what I got to come in and do is relieve that. And what I've decided to do is just go purchase a Felpro gasket. You can see the number right there. And yeah, what we'll do is we'll just lay this out. We'll just lay this out so it looks right. Get the holes to align properly. Yeah, that's what we're after right there. We need that notch for clearance, and we need some clearance over here. I'll probably just come in and cut this entire thing. Okay, here you can see the original files for that rear axle assembly, and we're just concerned about the faceplate, so we'll just open that part. Okay, there we go. Okay, now what we're going to do is import that picture onto this face right here, scale it, align it properly. It's going to take a minute. This is not easy stuff to do. Alright, this is the setup we came up with here. Positioner blocks, clamping this down there to the positioner blocks, and then I've got a V-block over here with just some scrap piece of metal holding it down to the table. The tip tilt of this thing is not that critical because, like I said, I'm just cutting clearance holes. I have swept this flat side, and I've got that within about 3 thou of square, good enough. Now I'm going to pick up this bolt that I just turned around. I'll pick that up. That will become my 0. I'll set that as X and Y 0. I'll load the master cam up with that as X and Y 0, and then we'll just cut those reliefs. So there you can see sweeping that bolt. I'm within a couple thou, just fine. And like I said, we're going to set that point at 0. There we go. Now all we got to do is worry about a tool and heights and programming. Alright, we got a tool selected. It's a 1/2 inch carbide, 4 flute. A little bit of a corner round, not much. I think it's 15. And we're just going to do this one contour right here. Just a simple contour, 25 thou depth of cut, and then a finish at the bottom. No cooling. Okay, my first pass was really light in case I messed something up, but it looks like it's going to be alright, so we're just going to send it. Like I said, real light cuts. This whole fixturing thing's a little wonky. It'll be alright. Seems to be cutting just fine, so we'll just let that eat through. And yeah. Show you what we end up with. Alright, we're done with that program, and left a little bit of a rough edge down there, so I'm going to send another one and we'll just do a little bit of a cleanup, a little deeper, and yeah, it should be good. It's going to go all the way to like 700 now. Then a little cleanup. All right, that's pretty clean. Now we're going to go ahead and program this side. Okay, we're cutting the other side. Got to keep the doors closed. It's important to note that this is a chrome alloy housing, so this material is pretty hard. So when it cuts, it's hot. So we're going to take a notch out of that side, and then a notch out of the other side, and then the little round area, which is the primary clearance. So I'll show you what we end up with. Alright, we got that cutout done. You can see we just touched the axle tube right there, but there's still a ton of material under here that's welded. So yeah, we're good, absolutely fine. The back side of this 5/8 plate actually has a relief in it as well to clear who knows what, if you're putting 75 spline axles in here or something. But yeah, anyway, was any of this necessary? No. Team Z made an amazing piece here. I'm just doing this to give me a little added clearance. So you know, as it was, the little clips that hold the side bearing adjusters, super tight, really tight. So I mean, they went in, but they were just very tight. So I'm just adding a little clearance, and now you can see this piece was water jet cut, so there's a tiny bit of taper in this. It's quite good for a water jet piece, but you know, I have the file, I have this loaded in, it's squared up. I'm just going to go ahead and take a pass around the entire thing and give the whole thing another, maybe 3 thou of clearance, and it'll just tighten up all these edges, make it look real nice. Again, is it necessary? No, but hey, this is what we do. Okay, I just took an extra, you know, according to the model, I took an extra 2 thou off of that surface around there, and you can see it nearly cleaned up. I'm super close. Everything else cleaned up all the way around, feels pretty good. It's quite nice. Was it necessary? Nope, but hey, that's what we do. Anyway, this guy is now relieved with plenty of clearance. And now what we have to do is a little bit of rust removal. And if you're curious how I do that, I've already done a video on that, removing the rust from the machine itself. And I'll put a link to that up here in the corner. And yeah, so little rust removal. I think we're going to go through and tighten up these welds that I had another guy do for me, make them look a little nicer, do a little walk in the cup around there, and then this guy will be ready. I'll have it in primer, and then it'll be ready to go into the car and get its axle brackets welded on once we figure all that out. But the first thing we had to do is get this thing cleaned up and primed, and get the third member in it, axles shoved in, and ready to go. Again, I just want to make it perfectly clear that while I did design this for Team Z, for Dave Zimmerman, way back in the day when this thing was new, they are more than capable now. They've got their own CAD guys, their own design guys. We did do an insane amount of FEA on this thing. It is extremely strong. It's a great product. Was any of this absolutely necessary? I'm sure my tightness is just because this is a pre-production prototype. It would have worked as is, but I just wanted to have a little extra clearance so it's easier getting that third member in and out. But yeah, so that's what we got going on right there. I hope that was informative, kind of fixturing a really weird shaped thing, and how I sometimes use pictures in sketches to define where my sketch should go. I hope that was informative, a little SOLIDWORKS fun, and yeah. Like, subscribe, and if you need a serious Fab 9 rear end that's not symmetrical, we did that so that it would focus all of the oil drain back into the ring gear itself. If it's symmetrical, you've got this huge area and you're carrying more weight around, more oil. This is a very specific piece. It's gone through a ton of FEA. It is going to be strong. It's going to do exactly what you need it to do. Anyway, that's the rear end for my 32 Ford. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.